Where I grew up, it's really remote. You know, it is a mass majority white area. During my time in high school, I found out about a far-right social media group that a friend was involved in. It was a really anti-Islamic, borderline white supremacy group, and from there, me and my friend, we kind of started promoting the far-right in our school. I was a really angry, negative person. You know, I had like a lot of anger. I was very anti-authority. I've never really known my real dad. He's never been around, so I grew up with my mum. She never supported what I did. She was massively against it. She didn't know how involved I was. Obviously, she knew about the EDL, she knew about Britain First, but it was very hard for her to really argue a case against me because I had all this knowledge of the far right.
Not pepper spraying. You know, it's supposed to be about me being able to see Hannah this, but thanks to you, I'll probably never get to see it ever again. Well, yeah, I wanted you to do something, but I didn't think this.
Hang on a minute, you're not in a pick and mix store now, Woolworths, you know, you can't just pick and choose what you like and what you don't like. You're one of us now.
The main people I knew, you know, they'd often just say, you know, it's a brotherhood, you know, we're all united, we're all kind of, you know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours sort of thing. Well, it's not true at all, you know, they'll use you for everything you've got. What really made me leave in the end was Prevent. They essentially, as simple as it sounds, prevent terrorism, you know. They'll try and get someone who's, you know, vulnerable to, you know, extremism at the earliest stage possible. They came into my college at the time after I had said some quite offensive remarks in a class. I got reported to a safeguarding team at my college. The safeguarding team contacted the authorities, and the authorities deemed it as enough of a threat to, you know, kind of pass me over to the channel process.
I joined the far right when I was 15 years of age. I got involved really because I was very much against what the IRA were doing at the time. I got recruited at school. Somebody gave me a leaflet. It was like an anti-IRA leaflet, and then from joining that organisation, you know, I basically ended up wasting 20 years of my life. You know, my wife at the time gave me an ultimatum. She says, combat 18 on me, and I chose combat 18. And eventually I just decided, you know, this is destroying my life, I've got to get out. But it's really hard to leave far-right groups. Prevent equals safeguarding. You know, you protect your children and young people against people who are getting involved in gangs and drugs, and this is exactly the same. And schools now are really good at not only spotting the signs, but actually asking for help. When you've mentored somebody and they've gone from a process of being an extremist to moving on, and then they come to the end of that and then they normally have a time when they sort of go away, reflect and come back. But then when they want to get involved and sort of support the work we do, you know, that's priceless. I mean, we've had a couple of instances where we've got individuals who have contacted us. So one example has been a friend of a mum who saw similarities with Steve, the character, in the mum's son. And then we've managed to then get engagement, discuss why the young person is supporting populist right feelings, really sort of just anti-Muslim feelings. And then what they've done then is once we've cleared those issues up, that individual has carried on then and now, you know, got back on with their school life, which for us is a brilliant success. More people are asking questions about how do we stop extremism, and, you know, via media, you know, this is a great thing to use to, you know, get people and give them that positive message.
In my initial meeting, I got given a Prevent IP, which is an intervention provider, and I just had a really good relationship from him from the start. You know, we had a very similar background. You know, both grew up in a real white working class area. I had this far-right propaganda, and as part of the propaganda, there was, you know, quotes from the Quran. And what he said was, he said, here's an app on your phone. He said, download it. You know, you take the number, you know, the verse and the line. He said, what you do is you put it in the search bar at the top, and he said, you search it, and if it comes up, you know, if the quote comes up, read it in context. And he said, if the quote doesn't show up, it's quite possibly a fake. He said, feel free to do more research on it, but from my experience, if it doesn't show up, it'll probably be a fake. And when I read these, you know, these quotes in context, I was like, it was almost a light bulb above the head moment. It's like, you know, this makes sense, you know. I mean, massively ashamed of what I did, you know. I can't apologise enough for what I'd said and what I'd done. But yeah, moving forward, I want to use bad experience for good, and I want to, you know, stop other young people doing the same things I did.